Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Welcome to this week's Top Stock Picks. We're filming here on Tuesday, February 18th, since we had President's Day yesterday. I am super excited about today's video. I'm going to talk about NVIDIA, Elon Musk, and how the future of artificial general intelligence is coming at us much faster than anybody predicted. So last week, for Zach's Ultimate subscribers, I did a special presentation. It's our monthly Zach's Ultimate Strategy session, where I took on the argument, did the AI bubble get popped by DeepSeek? And of course, you know where I stand. I'm going to show you some slides from that deck, and we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Grok, which got released last night, Grok 3. But first, something that's going to probably break the internet this month. I got to tell you first. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Could it be Jack Dorsey? I read this post on February 15th, and I'm not a conspiracy fan, but so many things line up to point that Jack Dorsey really could be Satoshi Nakamoto. It's incredible. So find this thread and read this and see what you think. I mean, here he is, hiding in plain sight from us, and it makes sense because Dorsey would be just the guy to pull off this sort of masterpiece. And so this was from February 15th from Sean Murray at Finance Guy 74. But this morning, none other than the quant from Van Eck Funds said he's all in on this too. And he's got a slide deck and he explains the whole thing. So this is going to blow up the internet, I think, over the next few weeks. All right, let's get serious now. Let's get back to business. I'm going to go slideshow on this. So I'm going to run through this deck quick. If you want to see the full video presentation I did, you just become a Zach's Ultimate member. I think you can get a trial for $1 or something. All right, January 27th, DeepSeek comes out, tanks the NASDAQ 3%. What did we do? We added to NVIDIA. And I said, we're not going to see the sales estimates go down because the hyperscalers are still building. I gave all the evidence why they're still building. And, you see it in all these slides, $320 billion in CapEx from the big four that isn't going away. We'll talk about Tesla in a moment. Comments from, as Amazon CEO Jassy saying, hey, we've never seen spending decrease when the technology is more powerful and more available. This was a cool slide from Jensen. Those are my notes in white in the upper left. But this vision, this where we're going with AI from Jensen, and this was from CES in January, is just incredible. We're going from generative AI to agentic AI to physical AI. And, the spending is just going to continue because of how competitive these models are. And we'll see that in a moment. This is a great slide from ARC, graphing out how have expectations changed. In 4 years, we've gone from thinking that AGI was 80 years away to now it's 8 years away. Some would say, and the stuff I'm looking at and what I'm going to show you from Grok 3, it could be 2 to 4 years away. NVIDIA has just got the flywheel for building all of this, from DGX, mini supercomputers stacked together, to Omniverse and Cosmos. These are the things that create training environments for autonomous cars and now humanoid robots. Jensen creates what he calls world foundation models to train. How does the real world look and feel? They can then simulate that and then run billions and trillions of iterations to train these machines. More about that. NVIDIA says robots are a multi-trillion opportunity. No matter who builds, they're going to need the software capabilities of Omniverse, Cosmos, CUDA. All right. And then NVIDIA just leads in providing the most powerful tools to scientists in the life sciences for genomics, drug discovery, and the elimination of disease. Not just cancer diagnosis, but also, the prevention and possible elimination of cancer for large segments of the population. All right, we know AI is transforming the world fantastically, in every realm, not just business and industry and technology, but also things that affect people in their daily lives, and they just keep building. One of my one of my favorite quotes is from Larry Ellison last fall, where he said, "Hey, we have 162 data centers. We'd like to have 1,000 to 2,000 more." And RBC Capital Markets said, "Could there be an AI winter at some point? Sure, but if you're in a position to be a leader, you can't take your foot off the gas." And then I also talked about I've been playing with some of these tools, like Replit is a tool you can use to build your own apps. It's like an app for building apps, and a lot other cool stuff out there. So, all right, I'm going to shift gears out of this, and then we want to go and look at what Elon talked about last night. I'm going to see if I can play like a 1.5 minute clip here that I think just I'll let them talk and then I'll explain something.
So if we charted XAI's progress in the last few months, it's only been 17 months since we started kicking off our very first model. Grok 1 was almost like a toy by this point, only 314 billion parameters. And now if we plot the progress, the time on the x-axis, the performance of favorite benchmark numbers, MMLU, on the y-axis, we're literally progressing at unprecedented speed across the whole field. And then we kick off Grok 1.5 right after Grok 1, released after November 2023, and then Grok 2. So if we look at where all the performance coming from, we have a very cracked engineering team and all the best AI talent. The only one thing we need is a big intelligence comes from big cluster. So,
all right, I got to stop right there. What did he just say? Big intelligence comes from a big cluster. Cluster of what? GPUs. DGX boxes filled with GPUs. And I'll show you what Tesla XAI is the real subsidiary there did with NVIDIA GPUs to make Grok run this fast. And you could see what they're trying to show off here is that ChatGPT started, has let's say a 6-year head start on Grok, and Grok is just accelerating so much faster in terms of its growth.
We can reconvert the entire progress of XAI, now replacing the benchmark on the y-axis to the total amount of training flops. That is, how many GPUs we can run at any given time to train our large language models, to compress the entire internet. So after Grok 2,
all human knowledge, really.
That's right.
Yeah, internet being part of it, but it's really all human knowledge, everything.
Yeah, the whole internet fits into a USB stick at this point.
It's like all the human tokens, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Very soon into the real world.
Yeah.
All right, enough from those guys geeking out. But, that's Elon's goal, is he wants to make the entirety of human knowledge available so that we can solve really big problems. All right, back to my slide deck here, because the one I forgot to show you was this one. So I got to blow this up. So this is what XAI, Tesla's subsidiary, they built this facility in Memphis, Tennessee last year. And in basically over the summer and into October, they built this and got 100,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs up and running for Grok 2. Then in 92 days later, they expanded it to 200,000 NVIDIA GPUs, probably throwing in some H200s there too. So when we talk about the big four hyperscalers, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Google, obviously, really Tesla's one of them too, at the rate of their demand for GPUs. And this is not going to stop, because you can see that now all these guys are competing and they want to get to AGI bigger and faster. And we just heard one of Elon's top technicians who says, how do you build this intelligence with bigger clusters? So that's the theme why we stay long NVIDIA. All right, I hope you enjoyed that quick run through on NVIDIA and all things AGI. Next up is Andrew with his top pick.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin, and welcome everyone. My name is Andrew Rocco. I'm a stock strategist here at Saks Investment Research. I do also manage the Tech Innovators portfolio, one of our premium services here at Saks, and I'll be presenting my top stock pick for Tuesday, February. So let's jump into things here. My top stock pick is going to be Tesla. TSLA is Zacks ranked number 3 hold stock. It does have an A growth rating. And before I jump into things, this is a longer term idea. So I'm not predicting what's happening tomorrow or the next 3, 6, 9 months out, just so you guys know for time frame purposes. But this is one full disclosure I own in my personal portfolio for a while. We do own it in the Tech Innovators portfolio. We have a triple digit percentage gain. I think there's a lot of room higher. And I'm going to get into why I think that. So obviously, I'm sure most people know Tesla is the leading EV maker in the world, or the dominant player in the space. There's some coming up in China, but Tesla's really the dominant player globally. But we're going to talk about some things beyond the automotive business today, why I think that could help the stock. But first, let's jump into how Tesla is expanding. So Elon Musk Tesla is looking to hire senior staff in India. This is according to job advertisements that were posted earlier this week on the job website LinkedIn. So they're signaling that there's progress in the electric vehicle makers' plans to enter the world's third biggest auto market. And the postings come less than a week after Musk's meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Washington, D.C. So a lot of people don't like the fact that Elon Musk, he's involved in politics now, and I'm sure it does have some downsides. But of course, one of the upsides of him being so involved is he's able to have these conversations. He has these connections with world leaders. Tesla did try to get set up in India in the past, but it really does seem like after his conversation out there, posting jobs on LinkedIn, that Tesla is going to be able to move into this massive automotive market only behind China and the United States. We're going to discuss China in a minute. So yeah, this is a big catalyst for Tesla as far as the EV side, that they're entering this market. They're just getting started there, but of course, markets are forward looking, so they could begin to add this or price this into the stock here. Let's move on to the China side of business here. And what you're seeing on the screen, this is the new Model Y. This has been a really popular car for Tesla. And they just came out with this new model, and they just launched it in China, and they've already received 200,000 orders for the new Tesla Model Y, which you're seeing on the screen, in just 5 weeks. So it's wildly popular in China. If you guys don't know, or you haven't been following Chinese markets, the government has been propping up that economy. So they're injecting a lot of liquidity into that Chinese market, which could be a bullish catalyst. So we're getting into India. We're growing here in China, and of course, we're the dominant player, Tesla is, in the United States. So we'll see how the rest of the launch goes, but those numbers are pretty robust. 200,000 orders for that new Model Y in just 5 weeks. And this is probably the biggest bullish catalyst, in my view, is the Tesla robotaxi. Waymo does have a head start. Waymo is Google's robotaxi. They've been in San Francisco, Austin, a couple different test markets. But Tesla skeptics say that Elon Musk blows hot air into the market, pumps his stock, and does not back up his words. But really, if you look at his history, he has these grandiose plans that often do come to fruition. They just tend to take a little bit longer, which if you've read the biography on Musk, the popular biography, it discusses that. So he has these big ideas. They often, he tries to get them done as quickly as possible, but often these pipe dreams actually end up coming true. Musk says that the Tesla robotaxi is going to be able to launch in Austin in June. That's right around the corner. Like I said, Waymo does have the lead, but what robotaxi has over Waymo is robotaxi does not use LiDAR radar, and LiDAR radar is very expensive. Tesla's going to be able to grow and grow at a fraction of the cost. They're going to have better margins. I think they're going to be able to take Waymo pretty quickly once they get past the red tape and once they launch. I do think there's room for both players in this market, but Tesla does have an advantage as far as the cost of the robotaxi. And obviously, they're going to need a lot of robotaxis if they're going to try and take a large piece of the rideshare market. And here is a chart showing how safe Tesla's FSD is, which is full self-driving. It's many magnitudes safer than the national average for a manually driven Tesla. And Elon Musk has said that he is betting the company on it, and Tesla shares could be worth $5 trillion as soon as 2030. So robotaxis could make the company and its cars extremely valuable because Tesla owners basically turn their cars into ride-sharing kind of Uber pickups, but they don't even have to be in the car. So Tesla will obviously take a piece of that revenue, but it's going to be good for both the owner of the car as well as Tesla. And then Tesla will probably come out with some just cars that are just meant to be robo-taxis that are just going to be their in-house robo-taxis. But either way, the full self-driving, I think it's proven itself from a safety perspective, and it's only getting better. Tesla really has the best real world because they've had so many people driving these cars, and really AI, it's about testing and collecting that data, and no one has more data as far as robo-taxis. And let's move to the fundamentals. So you can see these are Tesla's cash and equivalents basically over the last decade. And it doesn't get any better than this. You can see that hockey stick-like growth. And you could make an argument that Tesla is overvalued. But what I like to say is investors are willing to pay a premium for a company that is growing rapidly, and especially a company that has so many bullish catalysts like we're talking about today. For example, GM, which is kind of a legacy player, they earned a gross profit of around $19 billion in 2023, and that's after being in business for 115 years. Tesla's already earning around $14 billion, so they're not far off versus GM, but they obviously started much more recently. They have a lot more bullish catalysts. So this is why investors are willing to put a premium, because their forward growth is much more likely to be higher than a legacy player like GM or Ford. Now, it's not just about the automotive business. As I said, Tesla has a thriving energy business. Tesla's revenue from energy storage and its energy storage business is on a robust growth trajectory on the back of strong reception of its Powerwall products. Basically, it allows users to take solar energy and store it in these mega packs and use it whenever you want. So you can kind of get off the grid. It's a way of conserving that energy. And over the past 3 years, the energy storage deployments have surged at a compound annual growth rate of 180%. So it's hard to get much better growth than that. In 2024 alone, deployments soared by 113% year over year, and that was driven largely by the expansion efforts at the mega factory in Lathrop, California. So with ongoing efforts to ramp up production at that factory to meet escalating demand, deployments are expected to continue this upward trajectory. And Musk expects deployments in 2025 to increase by another 50% on top of that 180% CAGR. So that's really the most impressive business that not a lot of people are talking about is Tesla's mega pack and energy business. It's growing like a weed currently. And let's talk about some news that just basically came out today. And Tesla has surpassed, or not Tesla, Grok, which is Elon Musk's large language model to compete with OpenAI's and DeepSeek and Gemini. 3 is the first model ever to score over 1,400 on Chatbot Arena and outperforms the best publicly available reasoning models from OpenAI and Google. So XAI was founded 13 years ago after DeepMind and 8 years after OpenAI. So again, Tesla's or Elon Musk's newer player, but in a short period of time, he's already kind of dominating this market. And like I said, they're already leading in real world AI. They're looking at robotics. Tesla's this robot is already performing in-house on the Tesla manufacturing floor. It's basically a humanoid robot. And Elon believes that Optimus has the potential to become Tesla's top performing product by far and can catapult Tesla to be a market cap stock eventually. So he's got high hopes for the Optimus robot. But there's just so many bullish catalysts beyond the EVs that not a lot of people talk about. And that's what's getting me bullish on the stock at this point. Now let's jump over to the technical pictures here. And one thing about Tesla is it is volatile. So I think it's best to buy it on pullbacks. You see, we have this nice uptrend here. We have this classic ABC correction, which is essentially an Elliott wave pattern, but it's not complicated. It's a zigzag pattern that I like to trade. And then you see we have this big hammer candle telling us that bulls are back in control. And it retraced roughly half of that move. So that's typical. So it's painful if you bought at 480, of course. But if you're buying pullbacks in a bucking Bronco like this and you're sizing your position right, it can really be a fruitful endeavor. So you got to make sure a stock like Tesla, of course, you don't want to chase it. You want to wait for these pullbacks and kind of leg in and make sure your position size for it get more volatility. It's going to be more volatile than a Google or Microsoft, for example, because it does have a high beta. But to get it in the right direction, it's going to be a better investment. And then, of course, you always want to see smart money buying. So a lot of these smart money investors had to release their 13F reports. Basically, if you manage over 100 million, you need to disclose your positions. And legendary investor and billionaire Ray Dalio recently initiated a new $62 million stake in Tesla, according to his newest 13. Ray is the founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the world's largest hedge funds. So again, we're building this conviction. We have smart money with us. We have the bullish catalyst. We have the cash-heavy balance sheet. So a lot of things working in Tesla's favor, and that's what makes us bullish over the next 12 months. Again, my name's Andrew Rocco. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are running a promo currently. If you guys want to visit Zacks.com/promo. Again, that's Zacks.com/promo. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and good luck trading.